Uh, cool. So yeah, hello. Welcome, good morning. Guten Morgen. Um, I'm still waking up. I literally, just woke up because I was up again, which is great. I love it. I'm switching away from, um, Neovim because I'm not too thrilled with Neovim, just in general. I would prefer, it's, I don't, Neovim's fine. I just don't like the command structure. Um, Cocoon and Helix just have better grammar, command grammar. I'm currently using Helix. I just don't have, I could get Cocoon to do all the things that I want to do. I could do CAC. Right. And I can have CAC looks fine. Right? It's just doesn't really have access. It's a lot of work to give it the same kind of access to just features that you would expect to have access to. I'm pretty pleased with the syntax highlighting for Cocoon. But it's a lot of work to get the but it's kind of a lot of work to get the being able to just select in normal mode is really nice. You select and then you select the things that matter, and then it has Clippy, which is super nice. That's why literally the only reason why I would prefer to have the game. But yeah. So Helix is very similar in that sense that you select things and then handle the the commands. But Helix just comes with a lot of things just kind of out of the box. So I don't have to have a mountain of configurations and setting everything up like I do with Cocoon. I might mess around with Cocoon at some point, just to have the things that I want, but, you know, I have access to... it's just that the kinds of things that I have access to out of the gate with Helix is just unparalleled from everything else, because I haven't installed any plugins because Helix doesn't have plugins yet. So, yeah. And also, to everyone else, happy Easter. I hope you're doing well today. Yeah. I do have some things. Now, there are a few things that I need to figure out. So yeah, there's some things that I want to, hello, Diminished. Happy Easter. So there's a few things, yeah, there's a few things that I want to kind of figure out. I would love some coffee. I have some coffee. Let's see here. Can you actually see? Not really. So I could do. I could do that. And I can also do that. Woo. Oh no, my IP. Oh no. People are going to hack into my things. Oh no. Maple and chocolate. Oh yeah, cronut. I know of cronuts. I've never had one, but I know of. Oh, hello. 192.168.1.1. Yeah. Happy Easter. I was just about to message you in Discord, but you're already here, so I don't have to. Yeah. Alright. So let's see here. So there's a few things that I want to change. There's a few things I want to do. There's so the noise, the noise is not very so oh, that's actually wait, can I close a buffer in Helix? I'm gonna find out. There we go. Hmm. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got so let's take a look at the feedback. Okay. So one of the things that we found is that the noise doesn't like the static is not very, it doesn't feel very safe, right? So I could do, because I need to separate the static. I need to separate the dithering from the actual grayscale values, right? So I can map that to a value, right? So I can map, so dithering does not feel safe. No sense of progression. This is while exploring, while no sense of progression while exploring. There's no sense, there's no feeling of, there's no way to mark where you've been, right? So it's very easy to get lost. Um, which I don't know if that's going to be fine or not, right? I have audio. I need to figure out if there's, I need to, like, realize if, uh, I need to do sound design. We need to have the we need to have the um we need to have no way to mark where you've been. So this is where things get kind of interesting, right? Because there's like a few different ways of doing things. Because so let's take a look at what kind of thematic things we have at our disposal, right? Because the thematic systems, because we have different thematic systems at our disposal, right? And with these thematic systems, right? So we have what is it that we have, right? We have the static. We have the fixed we have the fixed movement. We have the dark and gloomy. We have the what? We have the gloomy atmosphere. Alright. So we want, and these are kind of right, and like these are like these two in particular. These are tightly coupled to the identity of Kern. Right? Because Kern in and of itself, like literally the freaking name of the damn game is, you know, is a reference to static in and of itself, right? So it is very important that I maintain that identity. These are undeniably and unequivocally like these are non-negotiables, right? Right, like these are non-negotiables. So right, these are absolutely non-negotiables. So what do we need to do about it? Because I want it to be a horror game, and I want it to be defined by the static. Right? Like these two things must be maintained. So, what kind of things can you do with this stuff, right? So, in what ways can we play with the static? So, if we have you know, some things like that, right? This over here, we have some systems, like we can get some systems in play, right? One of the things that we could do with the static is that we have, we currently have what we currently have is this kind of system, right? Where these are the two bounds, say at 50%, right? At 0, at you know, at 0.5 alpha, right? Because I don't feel like drawing out what, you know, what the others are. So basically it can be anything within this range. And that's kind of a problem because that is something that's very difficult to achieve. No, I mean it's not something that's difficult to achieve. It's something that is difficult to play with. What we could do, however, is we can change, right, we can modify this to be what? Nande. Nani? What? Nani? What the hell? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So we can modify this, right? We can say because we could do something along these lines where instead of something like along those lines, along these lines, we can have either something like this, right, where we clamp it, or what we can do is we could have something like this. Right? I mean, not necessarily something like that. It's more like... So... Yeah, what these do... Because this is what the this is what the transformation space is. So for 50%, this is super easy, right? For the so for this one is going to be a lot easier. Well, I mean, this is just modifying the input space here. But what we want is we want this space here. We want this, right? We want this. We want all of these spaces to be the same. Right? Like that is a fundamental property that we want to maintain. That is something that we fundamentally want to maintain. Is that the area, these areas must be the same. Because it is the area of this that that determines the like it is this area that determines what the grayscale value is. So what is the shape of what is the shape? So let's say we have something that looks like along these lines, right? If we have this kind of curve, right? We have, you know, this area here, and we're saying that this is what 75% ish, something like that. Now we want a set. We want to have a set. We want a modifier. We want to be able to put. Effectively, we want to be able to feed in a function and get out another function. Right. We want to because we want to modify the output in a way that is very, you know, like pleasant. And it depends on the entropy that we want. Right? So this is maximum entropy. And minimum entropy is going to look like what exactly? Minimum entropy is going to look like this. Right? Right, this is what minimum entropy is going to look like. So, if this is minimum entropy, right, and again, this is all at 75%. So, this is still at 75%, right? So because of that, right, we have, you know, this system here, we have this system here, Both of these are the same because the shaded region is the same. We want to be able to go from one to the other. All right, this is at E is equal to 1. This is at E is equal to 0, right? Entropy. So we want to make sure that there is a way to go back and forth depending on this E value, this entropy value. And one way of doing that is that we clamp we transform the output, right? So the way we do that is that we transform the bounds. So we want to make sure that the bounds are going to be behaved. And what way do we want to do that? Do we want to feed it into itself again? Nani? Or do we transform the input? Right. So let's take a look at so the actual function itself. The function itself is watch some Christmas Hallmark style movie, yeah. I mean, y'all are doing some family stuff, and that's cool. Right. My grandma is out of town. What is going on here? So we have f of x, comma, what? Alpha is equal to what? X to the power of, yeah, it's x to the power of 1 minus alpha on alpha, right? So 1 on alpha, 1 minus alpha on alpha. And then we can say yeah. So because we can also you can modify the probability space. Right. To a Christian camp. Interesting. Because yeah, I mean, like this is maximum entropy, this is minimum in entropy, and what is entropy 0.5 going to look like? So I think oh right. Alright, that's what I was gonna do. I was going to find out what Desmos thinks of zero point 0.5, 0.5. What about 0.5 to the power of 1 of 1 minus 0.75 by 0.75, 0.79. Interesting. F is equal to x to the power of 1 minus a yeah, that's what I thought. So, and this is where things get a little bit dicey, right? Because I need to I mean, I could do that, right? Because I could just do a mix of these two functions. And in fact, I could do a mix. So let's being so hot. I don't want you to be so hot. So, okay, so yeah, we have no sense of progression while exploring. Dithering does not feel safe. So the regions without the dithering, so like the more dithering, the less safe it feels, right? That is something that is important to keep in mind, right? There's also how, so like the smoothness is because there's two different ways of doing things, right? Because I want to have So also the 1-0. The harsh on ah is also something that might be interesting. So because we have one singular number. Right, we have the grayscale value and we have a random number. A quote unquote random number. Um so it's not quite as random as I would like, but I don't have access to the kinds of systems that would be required for a truly random system, right? Because I don't have a bit shift and bitwise operators. Because my computer is too old for that. So. So. So, so, so. So, 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 so. This gives us a little bit of a dilemma. Right? Because I want the definitions that we're working with here, right? We want alright, because what we oh shit. Yeah. Fuck. How do we do how do we make a because this isn't entropy. Yeah, this is entropy 0. This is not entropy 1. This is entropy 0.5. Right? Because entropy because an entropy of because an entropy of 1 is because an entropy of 1 is what is it? This. Right? This is an entropy of 1. And this is kind of like this is the highest entropy. Harsh white, harsh black. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, 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 okay. This is something that would be fucking incredible. This is something that I'm starting to get excited about because we want the flow. We want the flow. We want the flow to go from. We want the flow to smoothly go from. We want the flow to smoothly go from this to this to this, right? We want the flow at of what is this of right? So we have f of x alpha comma e with alpha is equal to 75%, right? So here we have 0. Right, here we have e of 0, here we have e of 1, right? And here we have we have here we have right. So here right, we have E equal to 0, right? No entropy. Here we have E is equal to 1. Here we have E is equal to 50%, right? So how the fuck do we write these things? Because no matter what, the shaded region of that, we know for a fact that this must equal alpha, right? A is alpha. The area under the curve must be maintained as alpha. So we know that the f of that the indefinite integral, well, I mean the definite integral from 0 to 1 of f of x comma e is equal to a, is equal to alpha, right? Is equal to alpha, right? This is a fundamental property, right? This is a fundamental property of, this is a fundamental property. It must be maintained, right? Right, this is a fundamental property that must be maintained. Right, this is a fundamental property that must be maintained. So, with that in mind, right? Huh? Nande? Nani? Nande? Nani? What the f... okay, whatever. Oh, I just can only select it once. Weird. What do you mean? Whatever. So yeah. So this is a property that must be maintained. Always. This is a fundamental property of what it is that we're doing. And we're doing it from, f of x equals, right? F of x is equal to a. Alright, and here we have f of x is equal to... Here we have f of x is equal to a, alpha. F of x is equal to alpha. Alright. We have here, we have f of x is equal to x 1 minus alpha on alpha. X to the power of 1 minus alpha divided by alpha, right? And then here we have f of x is equal to well, this is the approach of, this is the limit. Alright, like, this is the limit of, f of x is equal to the evaluation of x is greater than alpha, right? Well, that's something to keep in mind, right? Because this is going to be the limit of f of x is less than alpha, right? Is less than alpha, right? This is what we want to see, right? So there's a few different ways of handling this. Because we could say, because equivalently, we could say could also say, instead of f of x is equal to x minus x is less than alpha, right? We could say f of x is greater than 1 minus alpha. Because here, what we end up having is right, this portion here is right here, right? And this portion here is right here, right? We have these two features. So how do we merge these two together? All right. what is the mathematical formula? Like, how do we get like a smooth step kind of situation, right? Because we want to, because like we need to figure out some way, because 50% entropy is going to be, you know, the full spectrum from 0 to 1, and that center area is going to be right. So at 0, we have the output is restrained to be alpha. Entropy equals 1, the input is restrained to be alpha. Effectively, asterisk, not. That's not how this shit works. The output is either 0 or 1, right? And the input is whatever the fuck, right? I feel like I really should have eaten something. Had some like toast or something. Make some toast. Peanut butter sandwich. Something along those lines, maybe? So what is because we want to make sure that whatever right, that regardless of what happens, the evaluation of the integral from 0 to 1 of f of xe is equal to alpha. We want to formulate some kind of function such that we have these things, right? I mean, currying is a thing if we wanted to. I don't think you can do currying in fucking GLSL. It's a stateful system. Alright. You can't exactly do stateless shaders. Not like a thing that you can do. Just like because of the way that the hardware works, the way that the hardware functions fundamentally does not allow for like having functional programming on the graphics card. It literally does not allow it. Because like if you start getting into graphics programming, like you can't have a lot of the same kind of paradigms that we have come to be used to. Yeah, I don't know why that's doing that. Why? Whatever. I'm gonna do that, right? So we must maintain this property. We must maintain the property. So how? Because I feel like this is some like I feel like there's something that we should do with alpha, right? Because I feel like there's some kind of system that we can operate on that allows us to smoothly go from here to here to here, right? Like this is a smooth transition, right? This should be a smooth transition. So that when we have, when we have the player, we have the player like in here, and then we have, we have the system going out and outside. In here we have, stuff. So, we have like that, and then we can do something like that. Right. Something along these lines, right? So we want we want this kind of system, right? We want this kind of thing going on, right? So like the more in the more so yeah. So the black is 100% entropy. The yellow is 50% entropy. The blue is 0% entropy. And we can like change these values, right? So we want to have that level of chaos. So what is a good... Because technically speaking, if it's centered around... Right, because if it's centered around 0, because if we have alpha equals 1, then if alpha equals 1, then we have right, because if alpha equals 1, then oh wait, no. Because x to the 0 is always 1. That's not gonna work. Alright. How do we... Because... yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, because I don't think I can handle... yeah, I don't think I can handle... Okay, I mean, I could try AI mode. I don't know if AI mode is going to be able to handle much of anything, right? Because I could do Gemini. I could take a look at Gemini and see if Gemini is going to be able to handle the things that I want, right? So, because I have no idea how I want to manage. Oh, you literally can't. My big dumb face is in the way. Can't even see what the hell it is I'm doing. Whoops. That's a thing. Oh well, this is why I usually like to have a transparency. But I'm a dumb fuck that wanted some added stuff for stuff. So I need such that the integral from 0
Time to stretch.
1, yes, stretchy time. Stretch your meat suits. Equals A. and f of x f of x of f of x p is 0 equal to a, and f of x p is 1 gives us equal to x less than 1 minus a. What do you mean? Fucking yo, dog. Fuck. Smoothly interpolates between a constant value, a linear ramp, while preserving its area. Well, it's not really a linear ramp, right? Like, it's not what we want. But that's not... No, I don't want a linear ramp. That's not the linear ramp. That's not what I want. I also, the constraint that E equals 0.5, the domain and 0, 1. Right. So a smooth ramp is like, because I think that's hello? What do you mean I can't fucking... Yo, dude. Buddy. Bro. Broski. Broheen. What do you mean, What do you fucking mean? I can't, I literally can't. I can't fucking use, I can't... This is the most dog shit fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. No, that's not, that is incorrect. That's not fucking... Bro. So, what is... I don't think I can handle Gemini. Like, I don't think I can handle running Firefox. So, when E equals 1, Yeah, because Gemini doesn't fucking work. Yeah, I can't fucking submit new shit. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? I can't. Yeah, I'm. And Gemini is a fucking dog shit piece of shit, is what it is. Let's see if running it through Google is any better. Gemini isn't available for this device. Go to the web app. Oh. 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 Really? Okay, I need to have a function that a function f of x alpha e such that the integral of f of x e is always equal to alpha within the range of 0 to 1. I need it so that f of x at e equals 0 is equal to alpha. F of x at e equals 1/2 is equal to x to the power of 1 minus alpha over alpha. And f of x when e is equal to 1 approaches the limit of x is greater than 1 minus alpha. Yo, I'm fucking. Da 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 da. Alright, yeah. Yeah, uniform distribution. 0 to 1 dx. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Parallel distribution is the most efficient way to satisfy these conditions. E on 1 minus e times x to the k. So what is the final? So what is the final? Alpha over k plus 1 times x to the k, where k is equal to. Interesting. So Gemini is saying something along the lines of so Gemini is saying f of Gemini is saying f of these are ways that I fucking use AI, because yeah, I could sit down and do an absolute fat stack of fucking research. X alpha e is equal to alpha on k plus 1 x to the k such that k such that k of alpha e is equal to e 1 minus e times 1 minus alpha on alpha. Alright, so if we expand this fully, then f of x alpha e is equal to a on 1 plus e on 1 minus e 1 minus a on times 1 minus a alpha on alpha times x to the power of e on 1 minus e times 1 minus alpha on alpha, right? So we can move all these things, right? So we can do this stuff, right? Right. So we have these systems, right? I do want to get a boot redeem. I might even do a little drawing of like a paw or something. A little paw. Do a little boop the snoot or something. I don't know how to set any of that shit up. I'm still waiting to get channel points. But I will absolutely do a boop. I think that would be cute. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a cutie patootie. Because I know I'm cute. Yacht. So. This is a fucking monstrosity is what this is. Alright, Gemini. I'm going to put your dumb fucking ass to the test. Alright, place your bets. Let's find out if let's find out if Gemini knows their shit or not. So it is alpha over 1 plus e on 1 plus e times alpha over, well, actually, okay, 1 minus alpha times 1 minus alpha on alpha times x to the power of e divided by 1 minus e we don't want, I don't know, G. I'm gonna say this is fucking G. Fuck! Son of a bitch! Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. K, comma, fucking G, I guess. Fuck. Is equal to G on plus G. 1 minus A. No! Fucking... divided by A. And then f of x is equal to alpha on 1 plus k well, I can do that. And 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so alpha. Say A is equal to from 0 to 1, step 0.1, G 0 to 1, steps 0.1. Alright. So if we want alpha to be 0.5, and we want the entropy to be that, wait, what the fuck? Wait, but if entropy is maximum, that's not correct. That is not approaching... Yeah, no, that is incorrect. That does not give the properties that I want. No, that is incorrect. But that is incorrect. So that is incorrect. There is a bit of an issue with that. Passing the function that you gave me into Desmos does not give the behavior that I expect. I literally can't fucking... What do you mean? I can't... I'm gonna fucking crash out, dude! Ah! Fucking worthless! Everything is fucking worthless. And this awesome, amazing, wonderful piece of fucking technology has just been enshifted to a point where it's absolutely fucking dog shit. It doesn't fucking help anybody other than people's fucking pockets. It's not even doing that. Yeah, let's take this awesome piece of fucking technology and turn it into the most worthless piece of shit that anyone has ever fucking managed to manufacture, to come up with, to make. fucking hate corporations, dude. Stock market is the stock market has been the single worst thing in the history of humanity. The entire concept of stocks has been the biggest fucking scam in the entirety of the human history. It has created the single largest fucking Ponzi scheme on the face of the fucking planet. Okay, there might be a way of doing it with hyperbolas. They can probably get it with a hyperbola. So alright. So if we have something like this, what we can do is, so we have 1 over minus x, right? We have something like that, right? And we have, you know, this hyperbola, if we like basically take a slice out of it, right? We can, if we can put these points on it, right? We can move this around, right? To move this unit around and make sure, because if it's over, if we're at the positive x, we have basically a flat thing. And then if we have, you know, something in between, you know, close to 0, then we have, you know, the shape that we expect. And if we have, you know, positive y, then we have, you know, this vertical thing, and we can move it around so that we maintain the proper area that we, right? So we basically have this square, this window that we want to move around, right? And that's the thing that we're going to have, right? Because if we can move this around to where we want it, then we Gucci. So how do we make sure? And the thing that we're doing is we're making what we're doing is we're making it such that basically yeah. So what is like so there is a little bit of a weirdness, right? Because we know that we have at 0.5, what we end up having is at 0.5 we end up having what is effectively a line, right? What is effectively a line that what we have is at 0.5 what we have is effectively, you know, just a line that we're moving like this, right? But it's around this center point, right? We're basically just having this line that we're moving from here to here, right? And we're like rotating it around this center, this central point. And the 0.5 case, the alpha of 0.5 is the special case, right? Like that is the special case. I think I'm going to attempt. This could freeze everything, so this could absolutely destroy everything, but I can't fucking operate. I can't do the things that I want to do on my phone to do the stuff that I want to do. So, yeah, that's fucking great. To attempt to use struggling. Woo, boy. She's struggling. She is struggling. Yeah, because my fucking CPU is capped out. I am going to have B-top open. Oh no. Okay. Still operational. Let's make sure that I have everything that I need to be able to see what it is that I'm doing. Because if I don't, then this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be very, very bad. Fuck. Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm just dying. Now everyone gets to see all my shit. Okay, I'm not completely capped out yet. It's not great. So I need a function f of x alpha e such that the definite integral of xe is always a. As e approaches, what is it? As e goes to 0, f of x goes to a. As e goes to 1, f of x goes to x less than 1 minus a. And once smooth interpolation between curves. Also f of x also when e equals 0.5, the dou and range should be the range of f of x should be 0. Alright. Alright, Cloud. Alright, Claude. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. Hello, Otter. I'm doing some really high level math stuff. I'm trying to make it so that the dithering. I wanna start messing with the dithering effect. Giving it like a fall off and stuff. So that like up close there's super maths. Maths so hard that Google Gemini had an absolute stroke and couldn't understand what it is that I wanted. So I'm going to Claude instead. if Claude can do any better. I don't want to support. I mean, I could just start using ChatGPT in general, so I could start costing them money. But I also don't want to give them traffic to give them a reason to continue. So I don't know. Using AI is such a weird thing because do you use it to spite the company that's operating on it? Because if you use the free version, count on fingers. It's big brain math stuff, calculus. It's been so long since I actually took a calculus class that I don't know exactly what I don't really know what it is that I'm doing. So I'm hoping that Claude can help me because because the only other option is needs more fingers. I need to count in binary on my fingers. So we'll see. And I'm also hoping that I can actually run an instance of Firefox without my computer setting itself on fire. That's fun. I mean, I would have a locally sourced system rather than. Well, I mean, I would have a CLI tool up and running, but none of the ones that are free. I mean, none of the ones that are worth a damn are free. So I can't do a lower impact system anymore, which is great. So Yeah, there's always that stuff. Fun times, hooray! Hopefully I can get a lot of the same. I can start reasoning through a lot of the math stuff without wondering, like, without having to deal with thought for 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Because Claude can't. Come on, dude. Bro. Alright, Alright, since Gemini can't do shit, because all my stuff is too old. Um, one over. Alright, like what is the integral? The indefinite integral. Ln, it's the natural. Okay. So, so it is 1 over A. Okay. So it is 1 over A I tau. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ almighty. The logistic sigmoid. Oh! Right. So... Oh, I can change the... So, alpha is... Ah, right. Because the sigmoid... I forgot the sigmoid existed. Because I can shift... See... Cloud is way better than Google Gemini. Gemini can go suck a big fat one. So I got good news and I have bad news. So the good news is, so yeah, is that, yeah, E equals, but yeah, so I have a step. So sigmoid at, you know, basically 1. Sigmoid at 1 is just a harsh step. Which is what we want, right? That is the entropy. Entropy at 0.5. That's not quite what I want either. Why is alpha... Oh, but alpha needs to be a range of 0 to 1. But... Nande. Nani... Oh! Okay, so... Sigmoid is pretty good. Right, like, Sigmoid is pretty damn good. Oh shit, I'm at very high swap. That is really bad. Hmm. So Sigmoid would work. Sigmoid would work. Sigmoid would be pretty good too. So I don't know how that this would look. So let me bring this over. Right. Let's show. Let's show the math stuff, right? So how do we how do we interpret this garbage? How do we interpret this garbage? This is one of the reasons why I love Claude over literally all the others, is that it gives you these for figuring out like functions and formulas and stuff. Claude is absolutely the best. Because it gives you things like, oh hey, here's the alpha, right? So the problem is, as okay. So a few things, namely, the domain of the 3 variable from 0 to 1. You are from 0 to 1. So so x goes from 0 to 1, alpha goes from 0 to, so that's E. The output range is also from 0 to 1, but is not quite as strict as the domain. Does not require your mathematical for the output, right? Because we can make the output be because the main thing is that I just want the shape to be correct. Right? I just want the shape to be correct. I want to have some kind of curve at entropy equals a half, such that, you know, but just as long as the area under the curve is correct. Right. Blows up at the limits. And the output being approximately 0 to 1. Is already what we have. We can re-render the correct notation into slider range, right? So, what, yeah, 0.998, right? But I want alpha to be able to be 0 and shit, right? But alpha can be 0 and alpha can be 1. Which does give a bit of a bad situation. Right. So the output doesn't need to be right. The output doesn't necessarily need to be like strict. It can be allowed to be blown up because we can do clamps, right? In floating point errors and all that shit, we can clamp it between 0 and 1. We can clamp the output between 0 and 1. It's just that the overall curve needs to be maintained, and I don't like this curve. Right? I don't really like this curve. So when E equals 0, then we have a very lovely little we have a lovely system here that just says, hey, haha. And then when E equals 1, we have this system. And this is largely what we expect. But the problem is at equals, alright, at alpha equals 5, at alpha equals a half, like this is the kind of, like this is almost exactly what we would expect, right? And then at what, 0.25, we would expect it to look something like that, alright? So this is a sigmoid. Alright, so we have a sigmoid that we're kind of like interpolating between. And the area under the curve is correct, right? Is the integral under that maintained? Okay. As E approaches 1 and blows up as E approaches 0, right? It replaces alpha throughout. Sliders now go from 0.02 to 0.98 inside the open interval without. I mean, the bounds, like, it is 0 to 1 inclusive, right? Well, all three can go from 0 to 1 inclusive. Um, the outputs can be. Alright, so walk me through. Yeah, the sigmoid. Like, it doesn't necessarily. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily. Like, I am using GLSM, right? So, like, I am using GLSL. So that is fine, and then, alright, we can do that, alright. So we can say, like, that is that, right? And we can. So the integral between 0 and 1 is always maintained. How the fuck do we know that, though? Like, how the hell is that guaranteed? Is it just because it's a sigmoid function and it's a logistic curve and therefore it has nice properties? So what is up with the 10 being a magic number? Right? I see tau 1 minus e over 10e. Right? Is that just like a magic number? Tau of entropy is 1 minus entropy over 10 entropy. Because there is some things that are going on there, right? Let's say, okay. I think I'm getting a little confused with my own notation. Let's redefine the function to be f of x alpha epsilon. Instead, okay. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about the mix of differentiate between epsilon and the constants. Right? Because we don't necessarily want to have the issue of dealing with, all those things. I'm still really not pleased with how much fucking RAM I'm using. It is not good. uh, yeah, it's Euler's number. Yeah, absolutely. So Claude is pretty smart with certain things. Doing things with like math and shit is nice. I am pretty pleased with it using the sigmoid function. Yeah, and I don't have very much RAM. I only have 4 gigabytes. That's like basically fuck all. My bladder has more fucking memory than that. So, okay. So we have a lot of things. So tau of epsilon. So we have like a fat stack of definitions going on here. Oh. So what is the importance of these values? Because the biggest issue that I see, right, like the biggest thing is that, like, yeah, sure, I like that it is using sigmoid, but the issue that I'm seeing is that because it is saying that like the bounds are like this hard cap, that the function as a whole needs to be, like maintained and all that shit. I think that's throwing it off. Like, I like the fact that it's using sigmoid. Sigmoid is very clever. That's a very clever solution. But it's not quite the correct curvature that I want. So, and I also need to figure out what the hell is going on with me clipping my damn audio constantly. I think I need to go in and check some filters and stuff. Okay, so sigmoid is nice. Sigmoid is nuts, right? So I don't know how well I can make things behave, is the issue. Right. So, like, the purpose is to create a probability transformation from a uniform distribution uniform distribution to something I can't. Namely, I want to use the random uniform distribution as emulation grayscale. Yeah. But I want there to be a modifiable entropy epsilon. Alright. So that governs the chaos. I'm implementing this in GLSL. I'm implementing this in GLSL. So things exploding off to infinity is fine, as I can simply clamp the output or let the floating point arithmetic handle everything. Anyway. So I would expect entropy of 0 giving an output equal to the grayscale. Right. So an entropy of 0 would give an output of alpha. An entropy of 1 would give the binary a probability of alpha. And I would expect entropy 0.5 to be to give x equals, f of x is x1 It's like the grayscale should just be a very clear grayscale, right? The entropy of 0.5, like I want there to be, right? Because like I don't see I do not see a clean flatness, because the only time that the curvature is straight is when the entropy is 0 or 1. when it is somewhere in between, there is a curvature, and I don't necessarily like that. Right? Because this is a probability distribution. So I don't know if I like the idea of things getting all wibbly wobbly, right? All wibbly wobbly and wonky woobly, right? So it might be better to use 1 over x as the base curve. Like, I understand why it's using the sigmoid as the base curve. But the sigmoid is that, like, the sigmoid is not very, how do I put it? The sigmoid function does not behave very nicely. Right? Like, it does not like to behave. So yeah, I'm gonna give it that and see what it comes up with. All right. See, this kind of stuff is what I fucking love AI for. Is it super smart? No, but AI is a, like, LLMs are just statistical models, right? So they are very good at doing the statistically most, like, it's just autocomplete with extra steps, right? It's just your phone's autocomplete. It's just that instead of using, the things that you most commonly write, it's using what the world most commonly writes, and then just continues that for a little bit, right? It's just, you write your own thing, and then, you just hit next, next word a bunch of times on your autocomplete, right? Just accept the middle autocomplete suggestion, right? That's all you're doing. There's no difference between that. It's just a very complicated, automated form of that kind of notion. So you have, right? So that's all that it is. So it's very good at coming up with the common shit or translations, right? Translating from, a core idea into something that's actually usable is very good. If you're very, it is, AI is very, very good at doing that if you are capable of very explicitly stating your intent, right? If you have very good explicit intent, expression, then AI can do great things. But you're probably going to end up using, the same number of keystrokes as it would be if you just did it yourself, right? And when you do that, right, you are not, when you're relying on AI to do everything for you, you then offload your creativity and your capabilities to something that you are going to end up having to pay for in some form or another, right? I'm waiting, 10,000 years for, Claude to pull its head out of its ass, because it's slower than it's fucking slower than Snot, which is fine, right? That's fine. The moment it becomes slower than me just figuring it out my own fucking self, then we have problems, right? So, like, if this is going to take longer than if I just work this shit out myself, then I have no reason. Right. It bringing up sigmoid is, that is something that I completely forgot existed. And then I would just look up, how to find what the, what the, I would just look up how to find the definite integral. And I'd probably come up with a lot of the same shit, right? Which again is like fine, but the issue is that we have, because we would want to have very specific derivatives, right? And that's kind of the problem. So I don't expect this formula to be as complicated as it is. And I also don't want it to, because I don't want it to eat up too many cycles on the GPU and make my game run even worse than it already does. So that's more of, so that's an even bigger problem. Oh, and also there's token limits too. When I run out of tokens, then I can't use Claude. Right, but I use Claude because Anthropic, I agree more with Anthropic's, business practices a lot more than the others. Gemini is slightly less bad than ChatGPT. OpenAI is kind of absolutely shitting bricks right now because they're running out of money completely. So, I mean, and I'm just like kind of sitting back and laughing at everyone being dumb. Because all these companies are just doing horrifically dumb shit, and it's the funniest shit that I've ever seen. Because all these companies really should know better, and they're not, they're just doing all this fucking really stupid shit. Oh, there we go. Don't. No, the integral must. I mean, that's not. What do you mean by log it? What the fuck is log it? The fuck is log it? What the fuck is log it? What? Nande. Because company. But don't you get it? Look at the progress from 5 years ago. Clearly, this isn't because of companies feeding the generative AI more data. This is some super intelligence that that we should fear. Please, please, please give us money. Yeah. Ah, there we go. This is my point exactly. Hooray. Ah, the very thing that. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. So, that took a fat stack of time. Hello, unknown coup. So let's take a look at what happens when I. Ooh, okay. Oh, oh, interesting. Also, what the fuck is logit? Interesting. Ooh, okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing, actually. This is... So this is, oh. Ooh. Oh, she's sexy. Okay, so what the fuck is logit? Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely not on a massive decline in recent time because it's eating its own output and poisoning itself. Because hey, apparently when you eat your own shit, it doesn't turn out well. This is... I think this is actually literally the solution that I want. So... Okay, what is... But... Oi. What is going on with my phone? God fucking damn, everything's... Oh, I'm gonna crash out. Yeah, I don't care about games done quick. They're always live. Let's take a look at what my temps are. Oh, they're not too bad. It's only at 90. Okay, so what the fuck is logit? Because I don't know what logit is. Float gamma is S epsilon divided by 1.0 minus epsilon. Return 1.0 divided by 1.0 plus the exponent of 1 minus gamma log x minus log 1. Okay. So that's a lot of logarithms. I can try it. But the fact that the endpoints are... I really love that. Because it gives a little bit of chaos. Right? It gives a little bit of, this je ne sais quoi, there's a little bit of these little sparklies of black and white. Not exactly a for a not equal to 0.5. The exact integral version would require the quantile function of a beta distribution which has no closed form. It's small enough that you likely can't plant it anyway. So it's not going to be like an exact thing. I think for one, copying this and closing Firefox so that I have my goddamn RAM back, thank you. I am not happy with how much fucking swap I'm using. Alright. So we have that. Yeah, thank you. Let's close you down. I'm still using 28 swap. Oh, okay. Let's do that. We can have that. So this is something that we're gonna need to do. So I can take D. It's the distance. And I can map it to Latin trick. So epsilon. So gamma is equal to epsilon over 1 minus epsilon. And I have a fat stack of logarithms. Which I'm not too terribly pleased with. So how am I gonna... Oh, come on. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Oh. Okay. So we have a system. Let's do a thing that also says, you know, needing harshness back. Right. Enemy misselected to jump list. Oh crap. Whoops. Okay. So we are in here, right? So we have the fog. We have return D. So fog is just a multiplier. Yeah, we have the noise, right? Fuck. So we have the noise value. And we need to modify the noise value. Currently we have it mix color 1, color 2. Yeah, because color 3. Right. So I think all that we need to do. Yeah. So we just do get noise alpha, epsilon, and because like the fog value and all that shit, right? We have the direct. Okay, so let's do let's set these to actual proper to actual proper values, shall we? Alright, so what do we have? We have color, we have vec3, 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 vec3. Okay. So we want to have a vec3 take in the noise val. Right. We have the vec3 noise val. So we have a vec3 noise 1. Which takes in an in float noise in vec3 color. Right. And then we can do a return. I don't know how I feel about that. We could do. Let's do the simple one, shall we? We could do the sine of the noise minus call times 0.5. Okay. And then this is yeah. Should be. Um, shouldn't is the upper. That is very bright. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, mi amigo? Do I have this? Probably because I did it wrong. Probably because it's, coal minus noise. The color, minus the noise, right? There we go. So this is ultra harsh, right? This is hyper harsh. And we can also just like turn it off to save the bandwidth, right? But I don't think that actually matters. Because it seems like it looks fine on the different things. Okay. So. That's good. So let's actually just do color call 3. Noise 1. Noise. So we have noise 1. Cool. Noise 2. Vec 3. Noise 2. In float noise. In Vec 3. Oh. Return. Power. Vec 3 noise. 1 minus color on 1 minus color over color. So return Vec power Vec 3 noise 1 dot minus 1 dot minus call on right. Let's do okay. And I do believe that is correct. I do kind of like the fall off of 2, right? I do kind of like fall off of 2. I mean, 1.5 is pretty damn good. Pretty sweet. So, the main thing is that the intensity of the dithering is tied to the brightness. Right? Which is, like, mostly fun. Cool. Right? So, that's fine. Right? Now, there are, what am I at? 90, 90, 92? Okay. 90, 92 degrees, that's fine. Okay. So, we have all of those. So we have the do static, we have the, I'm going to call noise 2. Noise 3 is going to be very interesting, right? Noise 3. Because noise 3 is going to also hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We'll also take in a bit of the, because like the fall off, right? Because like this is like a fog, right? D times length of redirection. That's cool. I like that. So I could also do the, yeah, so I'm going to do in float noise and deck 3 color and in float because we have the, because the 3 dials are the X, the alpha, which is the no, which is the color. X is noise, color is alpha, epsilon. Okay. So what do you mean? Nando. Why? Porque? Why spaces and not tabs? I don't like it. Help me. I don't like it. Well, shit. Oh wait, no, I'm a fucking dumb fuck, aren't I? I have a thing just for this exact occasion. In features, it's right here. Yeah. Okay, so let's do. So the exponent gamma epsilon float epsilon log alpha 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 x is noise. X is no. Let's do float x, and then color is actually alpha, and epsilon, gamma, alpha. No. So let's drop it in and break everything. So let's find out how I broke it. I didn't break it. I didn't break it. It's not broken. Ooh, that is super moody. That is real fucking moody. Oh, that is interesting. Ooh. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. Interesting. That is very interesting. That fall off is quite fascinating. Okay. So, ooh! Skater uniform time does not exist. What the fuck do you mean? Nande. Interesting. So, what you're saying? Almost 3 hours. Guess it just depends on whether or not I want to really double down and try for it. Oh. My fucking bottom jaw is too damn small. Right? I don't know. Because, like, my bottom jaw looks fine when my mouth is closed. It's just that when my mouth is open, it looks like shit. Why? ¿Por qué? Okay. So when that is like 0, it's cool. Yeah, and then that is like literally ooh. Oh my god, I fucking love it. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that is so cool. We get the sparkles. We get the sparklies, and then I think, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Probably shouldn't be doing that as much. I don't have the white sparkles. Although I do very much need to go to the bathroom. So I will be back in a bit. Alright. Yeah. Interesting. So, there seems to be a much higher probability of things doing things in places and stuff. So, one of the things that I could do, right, is like this stuff, right? I could do DDAD, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Okay, so I could say D times equal the length of R dire. Alright. And then I can say times equals fog D. Right. And then this should be no difference. Yeah. So I do really like the little sparkles. The little black sparkles. I like that sparkle. Turn it off and then turn it back on. Okay, turn it off. Okay, turn it back on. Which is super nice. So that's good. And then here we could say fog. Right. Oh, minus fog. Okay, and then here, say this. Okay. That's not very good. Okay. So I need to have a bit of Monday. What do you mean, fog times, oh. Wait, no. What? Eh? Okay. So, the fuck? Oh. That's what. There we go. Oh, there is some sparklies in the distance. That is actually really nice because I can turn it off entirely. That does that thing. Right. There are some sparklies off in the distance. I like that. I like that. Yeah, see, that's fucking rad. That shit is fucking cool, right? And what I can do is I can also say like minus, no, divided by 2, right? Da 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 da. Alright. Two. Right. So I have this, right, so that it's more, I don't know, because I want that static, I want the static to be more, I don't know, for, I mean, this is an excellent case to say, I don't know, actually give myself some dials and to, you know, mess around with it a little bit more. Maybe with the right and left keys, you know, right and left arrows. Up, down, arrows is the fall off. Fall off plus minus, and then, oh yeah, okay. What the oh. Plus minus, and then the fall off. Yep. Okay. So I can do that. Like ESDF. I mean, I could do WASD. I could do the WASD and then just have Q be the I don't know. I just don't like E being fucking the keybinds. I like having my keybinds be a certain way because it's just more convenient to me. So what's next? A little bit of a snacky snare. Snare. Hmm. So what is it that I actually want to do? Right? Like, what are all of the dials that I want? I mean, could do that. Can't I do... there's a way that I could do like the intrinsics, string intrinsics and stuff. Because if I can. If I can do that. So what? So I'm just trying to think of what it is that I want to do next, right? Like what dials and knobs do I want? Right. Because what we have here is we have something that So this allows you to have that is way darker. Wow, that's like so much darker. Interesting. Okay, so that's good to know. That the darkness is going to be interesting. So this is so much darker. That's like half the distance. Alright, like you can only see half as far with the static on. Right? That is really fucking dark. Right? So alpha is not so okay. Okay. So there's like really is super fucking dark. Right? That shit is really fucking dark. Um. Right. So this reads a lot fucking better, I feel like. So there's still some you know, there's still some static, there's still some chaos, there's still some like noise going on, but it's a lot more subdued. It's a lot less potent, which is important. And into the darkness, it gets more and more intense, which is good, right? I like that aesthetic. And if I turn it off, it's like super bright. And then I don't know if I like that. Because there's like a lot of different things that I want to do with it, and I don't know. Like there's a lot that we could do. Because there's like a lot of things that we could do with like the fall off and, you know, just a lot of different things. There's a lot of little dials and knobs and stuff that we could do with it. Because one thing that I think would be really cool is effectively this radius of chaos can encroach in, depending on like how much quote unquote damage you've taken or any number of other things. Because like in the original one, it was the contrast would go down and everything would just go would start just approaching gray. And like that's, you know, something I can do something similar there, but you know, like you have this mix of both the actual value approaching half gray, the 50-50 gray, and the entropy rising, right? Because I want to be able to like manage these things, okay? So for one, I could do an individual. I could do like an individual because I can do meta balls or meta circles. Well, I mean, I can do meta balls regardless. So whenever you hit a because there can be like a bit of a fall off, right? So you can hit a particular so you can hit a particular point in space, right? And if that point is within a certain, you know, like location or whatever, then you can, you know, do things, right? So one of the things that it would be nice to do is, say, be able to like draw on the walls or something. But I really don't necessarily want to do that, right? Because drawing on the walls is Like, drawing on the walls would be really fucking cool. But that's real-time modification. And I have to store that information somewhere. Right. And if I'm doing like a texture-based real-time, mod, then that is a lot of data to be storing. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because I could also go into like a texture in stuff, right? So, yeah. Now, one of the things that, because there's like, a few things that can be done, right? Because there's because for every, because you could do, like, there's a number of things that can be done. For instance, I could say, hey, well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things, like say I want to update, update a texture, right? I want to, say I want to update a texture, right? I can do, so I can say like, hey, I want to update like this texture, right? Okay. I want to update this texture, and then I can say that, there's a thing here. What I can do is I can say that for each cell, say, hey, check to see if you can see this, right? Because I can say, if all these things are true, right? If every one of these cells, is a thing, first I check to see if the cell itself is inside of a wall or not. If it is, then get fucked, basically, right? And then, well, I mean, like the floor stuff. Ooh, fuck. Ooh. Because the cell. Because if this is a wall, and I'm checking inside here, and doing that, right? Then I'm saying that this is not valid. Right, I'm saying that this isn't valid. And that's not necessarily the case, right? And that's kind of a pain in the ass, right? Right, because I could do that. So I'm saying that this is not a valid cell because it's a wall. But the issue with that is that it is a valid wall. Right? It's only not a valid wall if it hits something else. I mean, I can do that, right? I can say that. So that for every one of these, I could say, hey, all right, see if this is a thing. And then, the issue becomes, because I want to be able to color every single ones of these depending on if that cell can see the source, the light source, right? Because what if you could drop mark little tokens or something, right? Mark tokens, mark things. Being able to mark locations and things like that is kind of really, really important. And like that's another thing that I want to do is I want to try and figure out what kinds of things I want to enforce in the game itself, right? Like I want it to be right. I want to have proc gen, so I'm still needing to figure out what kind of proc gen I want, what kind of algorithm I'm going to end up using, for that, because that is not a, that's not exactly a trivial problem to solve. Procedural generation is not necessarily super easy, right? Well, I think I am going to end it here, though. It's 11 o'clock for me. It's a little bit later than I normally do. I mean, it's my fault for sleeping in, I guess, or something. I don't fucking know. The alarm clock that I thought was going to be better is not. So that's cool. Because it only goes off once. It doesn't go off multiple times, which is super frustrating. I need to find a better alarm clock. I might end up literally just doing one on my laptop since I keep it on for YouTube and stuff anyway. So I might have an alarm. I might get an alarm clock for my laptop and just do that or something. Because I'm getting really, really fucking sick and tired of sleeping through my shit. I'm not too happy about it. Right? So yeah, I am going to end it here. Get myself something to nom on. Clean up the kitchen a bit. Do some stuff. And I will see you guys later on today. Maybe. Depending. I might take tonight off and spend some time with the wife or something. I don't know. I'm gonna be doing something. Well, we shall see. I would like to do some more streaming tonight, but I also have a lot of things that I gotta take care of. So, always welcome to adulthood. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Easter. If you're watching this as a VOD, then I hope you had a wonderful Easter. And yeah, it's always good to learn new things. It's always good to exercise your critical thinking and other stuff like that. So I am going to go back to this and see what kinds of, things I can figure out. I would like to kind of sit down and noodle through the actual formula, see if I can figure out one that's maybe a little bit better, right? All these kinds of things I used to figure out myself, right? And now I just kind of have, AI to do that in many cases. The fact that I can only make like 3 or 4 posts to Claude before it's like, oh, you ran out of tokens, I can't, is super, super irritating. It's very frustrating. But again, like, I'm more frustrated with how egregiously mishandled AI is as a technology than I am about people using, or like where it's at, or like, you know, like that is the thing that pisses me off the most, is that AI is such an incredible piece of technology. It's such an awesome thing to exist, and corporations have taken this incredibly powerful tool and turned it into one of the most just awful things to have ever landed in humanity's lap. I fucking hate it so bad. I hate it so much. You know, like I don't hate AI. I don't hate that. I hate the people behind it. I don't hate software. I hate the people behind the software. I don't hate Windows. I hate Microsoft. You know? Like, Windows is fine. I just hate how Microsoft is managing Windows. I don't hate Google. I hate the company behind the Google. I don't hate YouTube. I hate the company behind YouTube. You know? Like, that is the thing that I fucking hate. You know? I hate Adobe, not Photoshop. I hate, you know, that is the thing that, you know, is irritating and frustrating. It's kind of like how it's always been morally correct to pirate fucking Adobe software, because Adobe doesn't know, Adobe doesn't know how to fucking manage their anti-piracy shit, and B, their corporate strategy is absolutely fucking dog shit, and they can suck my left nut. So, fucking do better, you know? That kind of shit. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day. I'm gonna go do the things that I need to do. I'll see you guys later.